If you're an Instagram creator who's struggling to get views and reach, and whose reels are sometimes stuck at 0 views, sometimes 300, this video might actually be the light at the end of the tunnel. Because I want to show you something that has to do with the recent announcement of Instagram, especially the cryptic message where they sort of announced that they're going to push smaller creators more. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, Moziri, the head of Instagram, said that smaller creators essentially have gotten treated unfairly. And now finally they have changed their ranking system to give smaller creators a better chance of breaking out, which sounds amazing, and it kind of is, to be honest. But over the past few weeks, I've already seen this whole change firsthand with some creators I work with. And I have to say, some of you are going to have to be careful from now on with the way they create content. Because if you don't pay attention to these things I'm about to show you, you'll see your reach declining more and more. So to understand this whole thing, here's how the algorithm worked before, up until basically now. And they kind of already had a similar announcement to that a year ago, but then they didn't pull through with it. Don't ask me. Either way, right now, they are actually pulling through with it because I can see it in my data. Before, your content only got shown to a small part of your own followers, and only if these followers reacted well enough by giving you the metrics that they want, watch time, the likes, comments, whatever that is, only then you got a chance to actually get discovered by new people, aka non-followers. So the first sort of issue that's kind of being fixed right now, if you do the right things, is being able to reach a lot more non-followers, potential followers, actually. Now, before though, a lot of these non-followers that you still were able to reach sometimes were related to your followers. They tried to see what do they have in common. So sometimes, especially if you've sort of pivoted your content or you haven't used Instagram for a long time and then started creating content again, the algorithm was a little bit confused and it kind of had a hard time finding the right kinds of people for you. In addition, this whole algorithm up until now was kind of restrictive, and also by the nature of it, just prefers larger accounts a lot more, because the more followers you had, the more metrics you got, the easier it was for you to get pushed out through this invisible threshold to non-followers. Now, the way it works right now is basically it's a 50-50 split between non-followers and your own followers. Not always, by the way. This whole thing is only slowly rolling out right now. Sometimes initially it's more like a 30-70 split, 30% of non-followers, 70% of your own followers. But, and that's the important thing, it seems to be unconnected to each other. Before, even if you got a split, it was sort of connected. Right now, it's totally unconnected. And we can see that in our data working with lots of accounts. I'll show you something where you can actually check yourself in your own data whether this thing is already happening or not. Now, sounds amazing, and it kind of is amazing. I have to say, I have to preface that. But here's where the issues arise with some creators who don't watch out. If you're an existing creator with an audience already, doesn't matter how much, but just an audience that regularly interacts with your content, that whole boost you used to get from your own followers will be significantly smaller. Right now, the pie of your, essentially the reach you get from your own followers will initially be a lot lower. And that's essentially what a lot of people are like, well, Moziri, Instagram, you don't show my content to my own followers. Yeah, it will be even worse right now, but that's actually not necessarily a bad thing. Let me try to explain. Because back then, a lot of creators, they used to sort of get away with kind of outdated content that's not really fit for 2024 because that's what they just always did. And some of their audience is still okay with it, with them sort of not creating content the way it's supposed to because they're fans, right? Because they grew some fans. Now, of course, most likely creators like this have seen their reach slowly decline over the past years, just by the nature of this whole thing of them not sort of keeping up with the whole content game, basically. They blame the algorithm, obviously, and the algorithm is kind of to blame, but it's actually just a lot less of your initial audience are interested in that. So it's more like a symptom of this whole thing. Still, especially if you had some engaged people in your audience, it was okay. And you were able to kind of push a little bit out. Nowadays, though, with this new update, if you post your sort of outdated content, not optimized content for, like I said, 2024 audiences, you will eventually over the long run, but also over the short run, get way less reach because those new non-followers just don't care, and because your content's not really good, and your views because of that will just top out way lower than before. So if you're one of these people, right now it's not too late, obviously, but you need to change something on in your content strategy, whether you like it or not. I know it's cliche to say it, but it's not necessarily the algorithm's fault. You can't keep doing the same things you've been doing for years, months, whatever it is. Like I said, some creators that I work with for long term, the content that worked for them just 6 months ago was totally different to content that works right now. So there's that. So if you're one of these people, obviously though, it's not too late. Especially with this update, it's even better for you because you just need to create good content. How to do that? Obviously, do what I say here in my videos. Come to, for example, my free community, the Creator Club, or if you want to get things started a little bit faster. For example, in my paid community, the Creator Club Pro, where we have live sessions, lots of feedback, basically, lots of insights, multiple courses, IG Black Files in there, for example. But yeah, there's that. Now, there is a way, like I said, though, for you right now to check whether the algorithm already kind of knows what's up or not. Because if it kind of knows what's up, you're on the right track already. Probably you still need some switches. But if it doesn't know what's up, obviously you need to first of all make the algorithm aware of what's going on in the first place. So actually go ahead, do me a favor. Or not, I don't even see you. But take out your Instagram, go to your professional dashboard, scroll down on your professional dashboard, and down there you'll either see an inspiration tab or something along those lines. It's different for lots of accounts, it's just the way Instagram is, but something along the lines of inspiration. And then check if those suggested reels that you see in there are actually similar to the ones you create right now, talking about they serve the same target audience. Let me know in the comments if it's the same or totally different. Now, if it's totally different, if there's just random ass content out there, there's multiple reasons for that. First of all, you might be all over the place with your content. No clear structure, no clear niche, right? Because sometimes people think they have a niche, but then it's it doesn't show in the content. Or, and that's a totally normal thing too, you haven't posted enough yet, especially for newer creators. They don't really see anything yet, which just means the algorithm didn't categorize you at all yet, which will just automatically happen by posting the right content over and over again for a short while, as well as, and I never thought I would say this, using the right hashtags. Yes, 100% if you use 3-5 hashtags to actually describe what's going on, like we said in my previous videos, this will help the algorithm really categorize that, and you can check in there whether the whole thing worked or not. Now, if you can see exactly the content that you're supposed to be doing, first of all, very good, because it's actually inspiration for your new videos. But it's actually then a very good time to strategically plan your whole content strategy and aim for what I call a breakout video, which is basically a video that just reaches a viral video or a viral for you video. Usually that pushes you into another tier within the algorithm and it unlocks everything. Right now, like I said, it's a little bit easier to actually get a breakout video, just the way the algorithm works if you create content the right way. In any case, whether it's A or B, whether you're categorized the right way or not, in this video right there, I'll give you an exact strategy that you can follow to, first of all, train the algorithm, right? And it's always good, even if it's categorized the right way. And then strategically create a breakout video to grow your account fast.